Hey guys, welcome to my weekly Facebook Live show. I'm Jen Burson. I'm the founder of Generation PR and the creator of the Profitable PR Pros community on Facebook. I'm also chatting with Instagram here, Insta Live. This is called repurposing content or optimizing content, doing both at the same time. So I love this topic. I'm so excited to share and just talk about what kind of an average day, week looks like as a PR agency owner, a regular day in my life. And there's like so much behind this because I think that the idea of being in control of your time, being in control of how you structure your days, who you work with, how you spend your time, to me, that is like the ultimate definition of success. I've mentioned this before back when I was a civil litigation attorney and I had to do billable hours and I was not really in control of who I worked with or how I spent my time. That felt extremely draining to me. And while I was, kind of successful by every definition, like a really good job at a great law firm and making really good money and, at this prestigious firm and all of that outwardly seemed or sounded successful, I didn't feel successful. I felt drained, exhausted. I felt like I was stuck in the wrong career, the wrong life. And when I shifted and started my PR agency 16 years ago, I realized that for me, my definition of success means being in control of my own time and working with companies I love to work with. I know that hi Nelson. Nelson's one of my regulars. I got a bunch of people that jump in and join us every week, and I couldn't be more appreciative. It's so nice to connect with our community members all over. Nelson's in Canada, in Toronto. Hi Chandra. So yeah, I mean, when you're in control of your time and you can manage your energy and you can choose who you work with, to me, that is like, you've got it figured out. That is what I realized made me feel like I was living my best life. Hi, Barb. Hi, Barb. Oh, this is so fun. Okay. I know this is a good topic. Everybody kind of wants to hear, how do you kind of structure your day, or what does it look like to have a PR agency? At least this is how mine looks. And the kind of broad strokes of it is that ultimately, building up to where I am now was all working towards getting myself elevated to like a visionary role in the company. So that means I'm out of the day-to-day execution of like the actual pitching the media. I haven't been the one pitching the media for probably, 14, 13 years. Every now and then there will be a bigger project that comes along, or I'll have a specific contact that I know I can kind of race to get that to them quicker. But the main bulk of pitching comes from my team. So the overall goal for me was to elevate myself into the visionary role of the company. And the other kind of big theme here is that I structure my days and I structure my weeks kind of based on my natural energy levels. When I'm most focused, when I have the most energy, when I have the most kind of creative thinking and focused attention, and also my family and their schedule, because that's another aspect that was extremely important to me, was making sure that I could run a business that allowed me to have the kind of life I wanted to have, which meant being a mom who was there for my kids. My older son has a lot of like occupational therapy appointments. He sees a psychiatrist, a psychologist. He has a lot of stuff that we're working on. We're doing a neuropsych evaluation. It's a lot of time and advocating for him. And to me, the most important thing is being able to do all of that without sacrificing my career and without, and running my career without sacrificing my presence as a parent. So those are like the main themes, is like trying to work towards elevating myself to the visionary role so that I'm running the company, I'm doing biz dev, all of those things. And then also planning my time on a daily and weekly basis around my natural energy levels and what my family is up to and what they need from me. So that's just the general. But what do my weeks look like? And I can see you guys. Oh, hi, Candace. Oh, yay, good. Candace, let me know if you have any questions about this topic. Barb, I know you're a parent. Let me know if anything kind of comes up for you as we're talking about all this. And over on Instagram, I can see you guys. So hi, and let me know what questions you have as I go through. But what do my weeks typically look like? Like in general, I keep my Fridays open if I can. It's something I work towards. Like I will actually put in my calendar block time. And for me, that means whatever I feel like doing on that Friday. Okay. So that means no client calls for sure. Only if there is something that is hard to schedule and it's the only time that other people can meet. It's usually like maybe a new business call. But for the most part, I won't do those on Fridays. I will either block it out to work on something big, like usually in the coaching side of my business, something I'm creating for the Pitch Lab or something that we're developing like a masterclass for the Agency Accelerator, or I just leave it open. Honestly, like I'm working on a painting project right now, and I have my canvases and my supplies, and I have my whole day block tomorrow to focus on creative time to make this painting for my living room, or my new like family room. And I'll just work on it a little at a time. I'm not a painter, I'm more like crafty, but this is a project I have a vision for, and we'll see if I can make it happen. But I'm blocking my time for that. And sometimes it will be getting organized in the business. Sometimes it'll be like tomorrow I'm going to meet my best friend Erica for brunch because we haven't really seen each other in a little while. So Fridays for me are open, which means that I'm stacking my week in Monday through Thursday. And that's always been my goal. I've always tried to keep my Fridays open. Back when I was in college, I didn't schedule any classes on Fridays. Sometimes that meant that I didn't get to take certain classes because they were only offered on Fridays, but that was important to me. That's how I maintain my energy, is I really focus on a 4-day work week. Definitely stuff comes up. I do check email on that day to make sure clients don't need me or anything isn't just sort of popping up that's urgent, but that's what I shoot for. And it's not always perfect, but it feels pretty rad, honestly, to know that I have Fridays kind of wide open, or at least I'll do something in the morning and then I have the afternoons free. And sometimes I'll go on a hike with my husband. And then I end my day taking my son to occupational therapy on Fridays at like 5 or whatever. And then it's the weekend. So that's Friday. So we are working on a 4-day work week. Each week, I aim to have focused time for creative and strategic writing. And like I said, I do that based on when I have energy and when my mind is the sharpest and least interrupted. And honestly, the last year has been really hard because the kids have been home. They've been homeschooled. My kids when it started, they were like 8 and 10. Now they're 9 and 11. They're pretty self-sufficient. So I wasn't like having to get them on Zoom. They could do all that. But when it comes to like redirecting them and getting them to focus on their work, that was a challenge because I'm used to having 6.5 hours a day during work weeks uninterrupted. That doesn't mean I'm only working 6 hours. It means that that's when I have like uninterrupted focused time without my kids. But the last few 14 months or so have been hard. They're back in school now, and they're back in school part-time, but we do like a childcare thing where I now get 6 hours a day. And I have to tell you, it feels like I've won the lottery having this time back. I'm like, what do I do with myself? This is just incredible. So I feel like I can do so much now because I got used to doing so much in just like 3 hours a day. But now I have 6 again, and I usually do my focused writing. That would mean like crafting a pitch. Again, I'm not the one doing the pitching, but if we have to come up and workshop strategies, proposals, any kind of strategic writing for the client, or coming up with a strategic approach to something that we're pitching to a client, I need focused attention to do that. To me, that's like I need to block out. I do these Pomodoros. You probably have heard of that. It's like 25 or so minutes of focused time on one task. It means closing email and doing 25-minute stretches and then taking like a 5-minute break, looking off into the distance to refocus my eyes because my eyes get tired, and then going back into it. And sometimes something will take me 1 Pomodoro and I'll get it done in 25 minutes. Sometimes it'll take me 2 and I'll get it done in an hour. And just being focused. Barb saying, yes, can totally relate. And now they're going to be back home for summer break in 2 weeks, bringing in part-time help and an intern. Oh, that's great, to give me some time and energy back. Yes, that's a great approach for that. I have help. Our amazing, wonderful, incredible nanny is actually leaving at the end of the school year. We're telling our kids about it today. Really not looking forward to that conversation. We're going to try to find somebody new. But the summer's always really wonky, honestly, between camps and their home, and we're trying to keep them off the devices. It's challenging. So we do need the help in order to kind of get that focused time. But usually my mind is the most sharp in the mornings. So I try to just quickly glance at my inbox and just triage. It's almost like get back to somebody right away, forward something to somebody on my team to handle it, so it's not sitting out there addressed, because that makes me feel a little bit distracted. But I can't reply to every single email in the morning, because think about this. Email responses they're not focused energy. They're not deep work. It's not focused flow work. It's just like firing them off quick, and it doesn't require a level of skill and focus, creativity, strategic thinking that you need when you're putting together bigger things like focused writing. I'm doing a lot of content creation for our programs, stuff like that. I have to be sharp. So for me, that's the morning. So I do wake up, I quickly check social just to make sure nobody needs anything from me on social media, or to make sure there's no customer service issues, and forward that to the team. And then I quickly glance through email and I sort. Don't spend a whole bunch of time responding to like minor stuff. I'll sort it out. And then I go into deep focused writing. That's most days, and that's in the morning. And Candace is saying, do you feel that no matter how many years you have in the industry, as a CEO of a PR agency, you will always have to handle certain tasks? That's such a great question. And I felt like that for a very long time. I felt like there wouldn't be somebody who could do what I do, until I realized that I needed to have that person. Like you mentioned, thinking about pitches and working alongside your team for strategy sessions. No, I now trust my team, and I've actually brought in somebody. I realized that because I'm running 2 sides of my business, and I know, Candace, you have a coaching side of your business, and a lot of members of our community do. And I had a big vision for the coaching side of my business. And I was feeling very held back by the agency side, because I felt like I had to be involved in so much. And one of my mentors told me that decision to really stay straddling the line so clearly was costing me, a lot of time and effort in moving the coaching business forward. So one of the solutions for that was to free up my energy that I was really giving on the agency side and hire someone exceptional. And I was able to kind of handpick somebody from our Agency Accelerator program. And guys, I'm going to announce something really cool at the end of this live about the Agency Accelerator. But so I found somebody, Shauna, in the Agency Accelerator, and I knew she was the perfect fit. And I brought her in as like my second. She's really like a surrogate Jen. She's running the agency side. Like there was a call today with a client. The team's been handling these calls with the client. It's the first time in my career ever that I have not been on regular coaching calls. And honestly, it feels amazing. I completely trust them. They handle problems. If there's an issue that comes up, she'll come to me with a solution. So I will find out about the problem when there is already a presented solution. So it's kind of amazing. So now this person is not an inexpensive role to fill, but the bandwidth that it's freed up for me has been monumental. When I brought her in, I was able to put my foot on the gas on my coaching side of my business. And it's been like kind of that's when we launched the pitch lab. It's like when we were able to do so much. So now she is doing proposals. She gets them I would say 90% of the way, but honestly, sometimes it's 100% of the way before I take a look at them because I did the foundation and now she's like tweaking it and adjusting it for each new proposal. She does strategy sessions. Um, she's really stepping in and being like, Jen, yeah. God, I don't even know what her title is. It might be PR. It's like director of client strategy, but really she is like a director in she like is kind of me. I mean, yeah, it's yeah, it's goals. And when we lost a bunch of clients at the beginning of the pandemic, like big time, big retainer clients, one of them went bankrupt. A big, huge publicly traded company. It was big news when they went bankrupt. We lost a big retainer. Our revenues went down, and we came up with more of a profit sharing model. So there's a base and then profit sharing. So there's incentive there to help her, to have her help me with biz dev, which is really exciting. And she's excellent at helping me with that. So yeah, it's a big step in the business. But for me, Candace, it was really a mindset step more than anything, feeling like somebody could do what I was doing. And there are people out there like that. It was so ironic because when my coach said to me, you need a surrogate, Jen. You need to find somebody to do the things that you're doing that is keeping you held back. I was like, that person doesn't exist, right? Like, there's no way this person doesn't exist, okay? That very night, because I was at a retreat for that coaching program I was a part of, she was in the program too. And she was there and we were sharing a room. And I was like laying in bed, super weird, laying in bed, awake, going like, oh my God, the person I need who would be so perfect is literally sleeping right there. Like, I have to wait for her to wake up in the morning and be like, I have to talk to you. And she was like, yeah, this is like perfect, because she wanted to leave her old agency and I knew she wanted to build an agency. So of course I was totally cool with that. So I was like, come help me. And she was like, great. And she's helping build out the content in the pitch lab. She's exceptional, you guys. Could not be happier. And it was just when I made that decision to let go and realize that I didn't have to do it all, the right person landed in my lap, literally, like landed in the bed next to me at a hotel that I was sharing with her. It was like I just had the vision, like my eyes were open to it. Okay. Candace is saying we have a PR project manager now. So grateful for her. But that next goal for the agency, the director role, will need to be identified. This is great. Awesome. Yes. For me, it was like making the decision that it could exist for me, right? Like that person could, like, I didn't need to do it all. And she's better. I mean, she's better than me in so many ways. So many ways. And Jamaica's saying same. That's next for me as well. It's honestly, it's life-changing. It's not an inexpensive investment for sure. But for me, it was absolutely life-changing. And it got me out of the drudgery zone on so many things I don't like reporting and like dealing. Yeah, and Barb knows her. She is a total rock star. She's amazing. She has her own programs too. Her coaching business is Advocation. You probably are sharing her memes on social media. Shauna's incredible. I think she knows how grateful I am for her. But yeah, so that was a huge decision for me. And that got me out of all of that. And now I get to just do the stuff I love. Like, that's why I still love my business after all this time, because I have hired out for the junk that doesn't interest me. And I feel really good about that because my team is great. I was having a conversation yesterday with a woman inside the agency Accelerator. She's in our Plus, which is like a coaching component. And she was having an issue, with the team. And we had a conversation and it was kind of like, well, you get what you pay for. Like, the rate was low and she has enough margin to bring in somebody that will be more suited for the role she needs filled. So it is about getting the right people in the right seats and having a clear vision for what you need. What does that person look like? What skills do they bring to the table? And once I knew exactly what I needed, literally they were right there that night in the hotel sharing a hotel with me. It was like the weirdest thing. And it has been better than I could have ever imagined. So, okay. The other thing that I do, so back to like how I plan my days. So doing things that are kind of based on energy level when my mind is sharpest and the least interrupted. Like yesterday, because I usually do coaching calls on Wednesdays, but yesterday was a day, like the one day a month, I don't have a coaching call for any of my programs, and I blocked the time. So I didn't schedule anything. I just needed a day to just focus. And like my kids are back in school now, 6 hours. It's only been, I keep saying it because it's only been like 4 days. Okay. So like I'm in the zone. I needed that time. I had a list this long from Miranda needing me to focus on editing, writing, approving things, copywriting, all these things that were waiting for me, but I just couldn't sit and focus. I banged out literally every single thing on my list yesterday with just like 6 hours of focused time. I feel like I did enough for probably a whole month and a day because I had focused time. So that was really helpful. So I block time. It has to go in the schedule or it doesn't happen, because I'll get too distracted with other things and other people kind of dictating my day based on what they put in my inbox. So block your time. You can even tell your team, but this time's blocked. I'm uninterrupted. Another thing I do that you guys, that's a little controversial, I guess, because their team usually has access to their calendars. I don't want anyone to have access to my calendars. I don't like Calendly links. I don't want an appointment to just show up on my calendar. Even if the time was open for that, I want to schedule it. And I know it makes scheduling a little more complicated, but I do not like, I've had things where there's been Calendly and I forgot to block something and then somebody picks an appointment and I'm like, ugh, I don't want to do this now, because I need to plan things around when I think my energy level is going to be the right fit for that task. So I plan calls on certain days and then I keep other days with no calls or no coaching calls or meetings. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. Barb's like, same. Yeah. I don't want my team having, and Miranda the other day was like, I need access to your calendar. And I said, just send me a calendar appointment and I'll put it and it'll go in, but I can't. And I'm happy for her to see what I have going on, but I can't have somebody just plopping things in without seeing how it fits. For me, it's like a mental puzzle. It has to all work. So one of the other things I do that is so ridiculous, maybe you guys do this too, is I plan my week based on showering. When I'm going to shower and do my hair and get ready. It's so ridiculous. Maybe it's not, I don't know, but like leveraging my hair and makeup when I'm going to go live. Okay. So I know I'm always going live on Thursdays at 11. So that means that I usually am like taking a shower on Thursday mornings, right? And putting makeup, and then maybe I'll do like an Insta live or whatever. But like, yeah, totally right. Amanda's like, same. Yeah, because listen, like it's a lot of work. And, you know, like if I'm going to jump on the exercise bike, it's probably not going to be on an afternoon that I have already taken a shower and washed my hair and done my makeup. I need like 2 days out of like hair, right? So like I plan around that. I plan meetings and, client meetings and stuff. And I will look at when I think I'm going to have to be on camera. And then I'll plan my workouts in between those days. So that maybe it's that morning, I'll do a Peloton ride. I'll get all gross and sweaty and I'll get in the shower and do my hair and makeup for a Thursday Facebook Live. Right. Yeah. And Barb's saying I totally schedule my Peloton around my hair goals. It's so true. My husband will never like have to deal with this. And he's totally on the Peloton whenever. Yes. And Candace is saying, this is fact. I am back to scheduling things around my workouts. It's honestly like, and the workouts mean showering, hair, and makeup. It's a lot of work, right? Yeah, you guys are so funny. Okay, good. You're my people. Like I had to share this. It's important. You're my people, right? So yeah, that's when, yeah. Oh, good. Tamara's saying this is so helpful. Good. Yeah. I mean, it's just honest, really. So yeah, hair and makeup is kind of important. I mean, I probably shower like 4 days a week, honestly. Like I'm not a filthy person. I'm very clean. And if, my hair, I don't sweat a lot. My hair, I can probably get 2-3 days out of my hair. But yeah, then I'll plan my workouts in between those days or those mornings. The other thing I do is I will slap on a face mask if I'm about to get in the shower and I'm doing something else. So like I will try, because I'm never just going to sit and like luxuriate in a face mask. It has to be while I'm doing something else. So maybe I'm on the Peloton. I'm like dripping sweat and I have my little towel, but if I'm wearing a mud mask, fine, whatever. I'm wearing a gross t-shirt. I'm on the Peloton with a face mask on, or like a sheet mask when I'm on a client call with no video. It happens, right? Or if I'm like reading something or editing where I'm off camera and I know I'm about to get in the shower, I'll slap on a sheet mask and like try to optimize those. I had a mask on this morning before I got in the shower, and I'll sometimes do a hair mask too when I know I have more time. Just kind of like finding the little nooks and crannies to do what you want to do. And then I'll schedule all of my client calls on the same day because a lot of them are on camera. This is I call it a front office day. Like this is a front office day where I'm like seeing client calls, front office days. I also have back office days where I'm in jammies and I'm not on camera. Sometimes I will get dressed when I feel like I need an energy boost. But if I feel good and I'm like, you know what, I'm comfy, I'll wear my jammies. I'll throw my hair in a ponytail. I don't have to get dressed to impress my family. Like my husband loves me no matter what I look like. And I just, don't want to spend the time, or I just want to keep my skin clean and fresh. That's a back office day. So those are days that I'm in jammies. I'm not on camera. But I do all of my client calls on the same day. They tend to be Tuesdays. So, and my team's really awesome about finding time in their Tuesdays. We have standing calls. And this is client call day for me, and glad I had a break so I could hop on here. Oh, good, Candace. Yeah, it's like you've got your little standing things. And then it's like, for me, it's about the mindset of like, what am I doing today? Who do I need to be today? How do I have to show up today in my business? That's really important to me. It's about managing energy. How do I have to show up today to make the most of my day, my energy, myself, my business, all of those things like mentally get me prepared. So if I'm bouncing around from like writing to client calls to new business pitches to new business sales calls to coaching calls, I'm all over the place. It just doesn't work. So we have figured out how to stack. Like I kick off the week with a call with my integrator, Miranda, and we plan out what's needed for the week. We plan out our big goals. We meet on, Monday mornings at 10 a.m. And then I have my marching orders for the week, and so does she. And then after that, I do some kind of focused work, prep the week. And, sometimes I'll do calls on those days, but not usually. And then Tuesdays, like client calls, with other work kind of in between. Wednesdays, coaching calls. Or master classes. We do master classes in our programs, coaching calls, all of that. Thursdays, Facebook Live, front office day, hair and makeup. So like, what else can I do today to optimize that? Sometimes I'll do like an Instagram reel, or what are they called? Reels, like a little cute reel. I usually do them on Thursdays because I'll be, I can just bang it out after I do our lives. We were doing Clubhouse on Thursdays. I'm taking a pause on Clubhouse because nobody was showing up. Like when I say 5 people were showing up and it wasn't like really getting anywhere. I don't know. We have to like rethink the Clubhouse strategy. But so that's like the focus on Thursdays. Fridays wide open. And then what I try to do is plan my meetings in a way where I can get as much uninterrupted focus time at one time as possible. Sometimes my calendar looks like this. So it's like all mornings and all afternoons, so that I have a stretch in the middle of the day, let's say from like 11 to 2, where there's uninterrupted time. And it's my time, and I'll grab lunch. At home, I eat at home, and I'll open my door to my balcony here, get the fresh air, and I'll just crank away. So if it's a day that I have something that I can schedule morning and late, like if someone's like, hey, I want to talk to you about something, or let's collaborate on something, cool, talk to me after 2:00, because I need that time in between to make it happen. So yes, and I don't schedule myself back to back. I need white space. So that means for me time to go on a walk, work out, read the news. It's really, are you getting a theme here? It's like managing my energy level. It's really important because that's my best work is done when I have the energy. If you like run yourself ragged, it's not going to be good for you or your clients, or your business longevity, or your family. It's just like doesn't work. So over the years, I have realized it's all about my energy levels. When am I doing things? I also plan around my kids' school schedules and their other appointments. So I do most of my work when they're in school. I keep my afternoons open because I can when they're home from school, I can check in, hug, kiss, how was school, help them with a little work if they need it. I do have someone that helps me in the afternoons, but I can then answer emails that just require like a quick thought, a quick response, something that you're needing to give somebody or whatever, that doesn't require a lot of focused energy. That's for the afternoons. When I don't have the bandwidth, because maybe my kids are here. I kind of like having them around. I don't want them to ever feel like, get out of here, mommy's working. They've only known me ever working in this room. So they're fine to hang out here. It's totally fine with me. If I say I have a call, they'll leave. But otherwise, I like to have them around. So that means like just quick, easy tasks in the afternoon. So I keep my afternoons open so that I can also spend time with my family. And I like to kind of make myself available when they're done with school. Here's the other thing. Yeah, optimizing my time. I answer emails while I wear a face mask. Hi, Daria. Like just wearing like a mask before I jump in the shower when I'm answering emails. Just try to like optimize what I'm up to. The kinds of things that I do on a normal day, the big thing that I do, I would say, is client communication. So regular client meetings, I always do these the same 2 days a week, always. So Tuesdays are client calls. That doesn't mean I'm not responding to emails. They hear from us like right away. They know they're going to hear from us. But in terms of standing calls, client calls, Tuesdays, and sometimes Wednesday afternoons or Thursday afternoons. I always do my Facebook Lives on Thursdays. Hi, 11 a.m. The other major thing that I'm doing is biz dev. This is like the biggest thing that I'm doing too, is prospecting for new clients, handling inbound. We get a good amount of inbound leads through our website. We've been around a long time, so I have pretty good SEO on our website. I don't like focus on SEO, but it just is there from... Anyway, we get a lot of inquiries through our website. And then when I feel like there's something I want to build out a bit more in terms of our client roster, I will do proactive outreach. We have a process for this inside the agency Accelerator: discovery calls, proposals, biz dev, like creating a CRM. That's in the agency Accelerator. It's a process we've created. So that we share exactly how we do it, but that's kind of what I'm doing on the reg, is biz dev. And then project management and client work. This for me is number one, delegating. Probably the most important part is delegating, trusting your team, letting them run with the ball, feeling really good about it, giving them autonomy, and like really making sure they have what they need and that it's off your plate and it's handled. And giving them the space to, like Shauna comes to me with solutions rather than problems, letting them know that, and Miranda now too, she knows how I handle things. Like our number one focus is customer service. So if somebody in one of our programs has a problem, the number one thing is help them, make them happy, figure it out, solve their problem. And always letting them know how much we appreciate them and that they're so important to us, because like that's just what I would say. That's how I feel. And so now I see her making decisions from that place. It's never like, oh, this person got charged and they've done this and that, but then now they're having financial hardship and they want their money back. It's like, cool, of course, like she knows that that's the position I would always take. And so she's making decisions from that place now. So it's like really helpful when somebody understands, you communicate your vision, your values, what's important to you, to your team, so they have autonomy and guidance on how to make decisions as if they were you. And that frees up so much space for you. The other thing that I'm doing is end of month reporting, however, my team does reporting 95% of the way. And then this is, then I take that and I'll kind of review it, make sure it looks really kind of impressive, highlight the things that are important. Now Shauna is doing this. So she is going through the reports, pulling out the gems, making it really exciting, sending it to the client in an email with, reach and things like really teased out that are the most impressive and important. There is a training for this inside the Agency Accelerator. We have an entire training, multiple trainings actually, on what reporting should look like, templates for you to use, and then also these press clips that I create in Canva. I create them myself because they're super fast. It's really, really fast and easy, and that's a training inside the Agency Accelerator as well. Really, really easy. And I do these and clients love them. So when we report on results, we always send over these press clips and they love them. They're using them on their websites. They're using them on social media and like investor relations calls, like big time stuff, which is super cool. So I usually create those mostly because I have a humongous 27-inch iMac and I can see the whole. When I look on a website, I can see everything, and then I can just like clip everything that I want, and it looks like big and really nice on my computer. I notice that people on laptops, their screen is a lot smaller, so they're not getting like as much size that I have. Yeah. So, and Melissa's saying, just tuned in. But I struggle with this, working part-time for an agency that keeps me busy. So I haven't really been able to dedicate time to getting my own agency off the ground, but need the steady paychecks. Dilemma. Treat yourself like a client, Melissa. Treat your own agency like a client and schedule the time. Like for me, if I need to make something happen, it has to go in my calendar. I have to write it down. It has to go in my calendar with time blocked off for it. And then it becomes a thing that I'll actually do. So that means for me, usually like getting on the Peloton or, doing some kind of exercise class. I do like a little 5-minute Peloton arm workout every day, especially like summer's coming and I'm going to be in a tank top because it's 110 degrees where I live in the summertime. So I schedule like every day 5-minute Peloton workout at 2:30. When do I exercise and meal prep? Hi, Jax. So this is a good question. I get the meal kit boxes from Marley Spoon. It's Martha Stewart's meal kit delivery, Marley Spoon. I think the recipes are all really good. There's sometimes issues with quality. And I mention it to them and they seem like they've increased their like good suppliers, but we will, okay. Oh, I see your question. Oh, that's cool, Jax. So I have 4 meal kits delivered on Mondays, and then I cook dinner that night. My children do not eat what I eat. My kids are very picky. My son's on the spectrum. He has like sensory issues, so he doesn't eat anything. He eats the same frozen pizza every single day, so it's easy. I wish they ate what we ate, but they don't. But I cook every night, and they just come in meal kits. I order my groceries on Instacart or through Costco. You can get Instacart as a member through Costco and it gets delivered because my kids go through stuff so much, like the things we eat, they go through it so fast that I have to like have it constantly delivered. And I'm honestly like at this point in my life, this is a decision. It's a decision to make, but I have decided that I will pay for convenience and anything to get my time back. Like the little difference in cost from getting something delivered versus going to the store to get it. To me, that's a worthwhile use of my money because it buys me time. I look at like money, time is money. Like I know they say that, but for me, that means time with my family. It means time to relax. It means one more thing easily checked off my list. It saves me so much time. It's worth it to me because at this point, I really just value my time so much because it's like a finite resource. So I make dinner every night, weeknights, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we go out or bring food in. And my kids are now making their own lunches for school. And then exercise, you might have missed this part. I fit in when I don't have to do, like before I have to take a shower. So if there's a day that I know that I'm going to be on camera and I need to take a shower, I'll kind of exercise that morning and then get in the shower, or I'll do like little quick 5-minute arm workout. Honestly, like my arms are really sore afterwards. It does help. It does work. And I put that in my calendar. Every day I get an alert at 2:30 Peloton. And if I can't do it then, I'll just keep redoing it. And then I can jump on and do it online. I'm currently just exercising at home, or I'll go on a hike with my husband or walk through the neighborhood. Or we do afternoon walks with the kids now that it's light out late. But that's essentially how I do it. I'm not doing big meal prep at the end. I'm not doing meal prep at the end of the week, like on Sundays. I do a lot of baking. I got a new oven a couple months ago, and I've been using a horribly broken, probably 30-year-old oven in our house for the whole time we've lived here, like 11 years, and everything burns. It's either like dried out on top, completely burned on the bottom, or raw in the middle, or just completely, I mean, it's terrible, everything I've made. And I'm like, I know I'm a good baker. Why isn't anything turning out? I got a brand new oven. I like saved and really thought about what I was getting. And now it is like life-changing. I'm making sourdough bread and it's like delicious. Yes, I'm making sourdough. No, it's not hard. One of my friends from law school gave me her sourdough starter, and I have my starter now and I feed it. It's like a little pet. Um, and I bake cookies and do all that stuff with my kids. And we talk about measurements. I feel like it's kind of a math lesson, you know, in measurements and fractions. And so I do that with my kids. Nelson saying, you are Wonder Woman. I am not Wonder Woman. I am willing to delegate and accept help. Like I just ask for help on everything. Like I have somebody that helps me clean my house, who is amazing and wonderful, and she's so fantastic, and she's worked for our family for a decade, and we just love her so much. She's here right now. I just you know, I can't not do it all. I can't do it all. And honestly, lately it's been really hard to even do what I have been doing, mostly because my son has had a lot of challenges. Yeah, I'm so glad. Jax is saying, I totally needed to hear that. I think, yeah, I mean, you know, Nelson, I appreciate your comment. Wonder Woman. Nobody's Wonder Woman. It's not possible. It's an impossible standard. I do a lot. I get a lot done, but I've also felt very stretched lately, mostly because, like I said, I manage my energy. My energy has been completely drained because my son is really struggling. And I've talked about this. I've cried on Instagram. Like I get very emotional, but it's been really, really, really hard. And we're having to make hard decisions about his, you know, his educational path. You know, maybe pulling him out of mainstream school and getting him into a special private school for kids on the spectrum. We're trying to figure it out. And it's really hard and been really sad and emotionally draining for me. So it's been hard to get everything done. And I have had to say, I can't do it all, and something's got to give. And that meant asking for more help from my husband, or at least letting him know how I was feeling so that he could step up. And he has been really, guys, the other thing with husbands and men and partners in our lives is they can't read our minds. Thank you, Daria. I appreciate that. They can't read our minds. They want to help. They really do want to help, but they're kind of clueless. They don't know what we need. They don't know what is needed of them, right? They'll do it. You just have to tell them what you need. How can they support you? Ask for help. There's no prize. Thank you, Candace. Yeah, it's a lot. Oh, wow. Yeah. If you ever want to talk about that, I'm here for you, and I'm sure you could help me so much too. But yeah, and it's an evolution. We've been dealing sounds like the wrong word. We've been supporting him for 10 years. We have had a awareness of this and a diagnosis for a long, long time. We've had support, but every new hurdle is a new challenge. Every new roadblock is a different approach. And the older he gets, the bigger the challenges are. So it's been a lot of growing pains this year. For a neurotypical kid, distance learning is very hard. For one that is ADHD, you know, anxiety, depression, sensory issues on the spectrum, it is a nightmare. And then going back to school was a huge shift for him. So it's been very, very hard. So if anybody ever, Candace, I know you're kind of going through a lot of the same things. If you ever want to talk, I'm here for you. And I appreciate that you're here for me too. But yeah, that's about managing my energy, and being there for my kids and really asking for help. So Jax, I'm so glad you asked that question. The other kind of secret too is that our current nanny, who is so incredible, and I'm devastated that she's moving on, she loves to chop. She loves chopping because she makes everything very, very neat and tidy and makes everything perfect little chop. I hate cutting. To me, cooking is all cutting. I don't like it. I can cook in the pan and make it great and it's going to be awesome and I have good technique. I don't like cutting. I don't want to spend the time to chop. So she's like my sous chef. She'll actually open those meal kits, chop everything up. I don't like chopping garlic. I don't like chopping onions. I'm glad you like that. So she will get it all ready for me before she leaves and she'll be like, bye. She's also vegan. So I would never ask her to touch meat, raw meat, and we'll have chicken and, whatever, turkey, ground beef. I would never ask her to touch the raw meat. So she gets all of the vegetables ready. Sometimes she'll prep the sauces following the recipe. And then I come in and it's just all ready and it's great. And then my husband does the dishes because I'm like, if I'm going to cook every single night for you and get the food in the house, you need to do the dishes. And he's like, deal. And part of that, guys, means that I cannot be annoyed with how he does them, which half the time means that there's water everywhere. There's gross stuff in the sink and it looks disgusting. And sometimes he crams the dishes in the dishwasher to the point where they break when you run the cycle. And I can't really say anything about it because this is how he's doing it. I've mentioned here's how you load the dishwasher, all of that. All of that. So he can either take my advice or not. I have said since we've redone the kitchen, you need to wash up all of the water because it's going to ruin the cabinets that we just refinished. I'm probably going to have to mention it a couple more times because it's like a hurricane in there. When you turn on a sink and you have a cup, like a measuring cup or a spoon, and it goes like that and it goes everywhere, happens every single day. And I don't think he dries it off. So I can't, when you ask for help, it was also like when you have a baby and you have a husband who's willing to do the work and get up and change diapers and give a bottle. You can't complain about how they're doing it because then they won't do it anymore. You have to just say, thank you. They're going to do it their way. You're going to do it your way. And it's painful to be like, oh my God, this diaper is not on tight enough. And this kid is going to poop his pants and it's going to be a huge mess. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for that. Yeah, I just had to sit back and be like, thank you, honey. He's wanting to do the work and you want to encourage them. Otherwise they go, well, I'm not doing it. So yeah. Anyway, so that's part of it is just doing the thing. I like doing the things I like to do and outsourcing the things I don't like to do. And that means maybe halfway cooking, having our nanny really, she's so amazing. And we tell her every day how much we appreciate her. I always make sure the people that support me in my life know how much I value them and appreciate them, and compensate them for the value they're bringing into my life. But yeah, she loves to chop. She's like, I'm so happy to chop. It's organized. It's she's very type A. I'm not. Anyway. So that's how I plan. And then I'll plan my workouts on days that I might be getting ready to take a shower, but not after I've taken a shower because then it's kind of a waste of a shower, a waste of hair and makeup. So that's basically how I plan my time. It's always been towards working as the visionary in my agency, wanting to create a life that energizes me and run a business that also lights me up. And that means taking away the things that I don't love to do, hiring the right people, trusting my team, planning my schedule around my energy, blocking time for creative work, dedicating time to consistent business development and client services. all of that. And I mentioned a couple of the things that I do, like prospecting for new clients. This is a process we've created. It's in the Agency Accelerator, all of it. Proposals, outreach, discovery calls, red flags, that's all in there. Planning for client meetings. We have a template inside the Agency Accelerator for how we structure the agendas, end of month reporting, and press clip creation. I have training in the Agency Accelerator. All of it is in there. So, and the cool thing, and what I'm so excited about, is that we have opened enrollment for the spring class of 2021. The Agency Accelerator is open. I'm going to drop a link over here on, Facebook with like a bunch of stuff. If you're interested, check it out. We have a ton of really incredible bonuses right now. I promise you this program is life-changing, and it's worth the price of admission, and then some, and many of you on here. Oh, yay, Candace. Yes. Now's the time to get in because the bonuses are like ridiculous. Yeah, I know your schedule is insane, and you are like crushing it. And I'm so happy to watch you do all of that. I always am rooting for you. Barb is saying, what was the first hire you made when you knew you could no longer do it all yourself? So I have mentioned the advice I got from one of my early mentors. He was the head of the entrepreneurship program at USC Business School. My husband was at USC Business School at the time, and I was a USC alum because I went to law school at USC. So he agreed to meet with me. This guy's like this world-renowned entrepreneurship expert, whatever. And so he met with me, and, my whole challenge was, wait, hold on one second. Let me just make sure I didn't miss a comment. Okay. My whole challenge was that I left law, and my salary was like about $150,000 all in as a, 4-year associate plus bonus, and benefits and all that. So it was like a lot of compensation. And I felt like I wasn't successful, in PR until I made up that salary, until I was at a salary that exceeded what I made as an attorney. And I was kind of hovering around $100,000 my first year in business, just under $100,000 my first year in business. And I was like, well, I have to hold on to everything because, I'm still not at my lawyer salary. Like, I have to hold on to everything because this is the money that I need. Like, I've earned this money and I need my salary. And what he told me was less gen equals more money. And you have to kind of run your agency from like a finders, minders, and grinders perspective. And you elevate yourself to this role of the finder. That now we call it like the visionary. That's kind of a concept from this book called Traction by Gino Wickman. But it's the same thing. It's like elevating yourself to the visionary role. And then you have like an integrator like Shauna on the agency side or Miranda on the coaching side that take your vision and they run with it and they execute and they make it happen. From this guy's model, that was the minders. And then the grinders are like the doers. They burn out. They either have to elevate, like minders manage and they make sure everything gets done. Grinders just crank out work, but they burn out. So I realized at that time that I needed to hire somebody that would be, I looked at it like grinder minder. So somebody that could be self-managed and somebody that had the drive and the expertise to pitch and be effective, but also manage themselves. And that means that they have to be more senior. And I hired like grinder level people in the beginning, and they never really were great. They kind of, made a lot of excuses when they didn't get results. They weren't self-motivated. I still had to somewhat manage them. But that was the first hire, was hiring someone to do PR pitching, media outreach. And when I did that, even though they weren't like exceptional, it did free up my time to bring in more clients. I did more biz dev. I brought in bigger clients because I had more bandwidth to do all of that. That was my first hire. But then I realized that the people that I was bringing in those roles were not getting enough done to justify. It was like, I'd rather pay more and get better results I could leverage to bring in more clients versus just having like mediocre results and that client's gonna bounce after 6 months. So I paid more. Now my team is all like, senior level PR freelancers. But that was my very first hire, was a PR freelancer to do the pitching. And that I was able to leverage that person to elevate myself to the visionary, start, bringing in bigger clients, retain clients. So the agency grew. It was about maintaining the foundation of retainer business and then bringing in new clients on top of it. So it was about consistent, predictable, recurring retainer revenue. It's the model I teach in the Agency Accelerator. And that's like how you scale a profitable agency. But yeah, and Candace, think about this. Let's get you set up so you have like processes and you know how to automate things and you know what to focus on, and get you to a place where you're not having such an insane schedule and you can like offload the things that you aren't necessarily wanting to focus on, all of that. Pricing, $1 million question. Yeah, well, let's talk about it. It's in the program. I talk all about pricing. There's a whole actually setting your rates like module at the beginning. It's all about like mindset mastery, setting your vision and your values, and like really understanding what you want to make, what your revenue goal is, and how you have to price your services in order to reach that goal, and like how much margin you have to build in to bring on a team. Hi, Natasha, over here. How do I prefer to set boundaries with clients and staff? Oh, this is cool. I think I can like answer that and it'll come on screen. Cool. That's an interesting thing on Instagram I've never seen. Pricing, we talk about that, Candace, in the Accelerator. It's really like a constant evaluation and constant like calculation that you're doing. There's a lot that goes into it, and I talk about all the factors that I consider. I think I'm pretty good at pricing, like getting the most out of the clients, but like having them allocate the most budget for us and knowing that sweet spot threshold that they're going to come in and we're still kind of like making as much revenue as possible, and not like pricing ourselves out of opportunities. I know that's always the risk, is like, oh my God, if I price too high, they're going to leave. But we're good at that, and I have training on that in the program. But and Jax is asking, how do you prefer to set boundaries with your clients and staff? Well, you have to set your hours and be responsive during your working hours. Like, do not send emails after hours, because you're setting the tone that you are available after hours. There's a lot that goes into it. I talk about that in the program too. I just give you guys like a lot of structure around how you can, a lot of like ideas around how you can structure your business so that you create a lifestyle business. That's the goal. Like, why build a company you're going to hate or that's going to encroach on the kind of life you want to lead? So we talk about how to do that. But oh my God, I've gone like an hour. There's so many people still here. Thank you guys for sticking around. I love this topic. I love thinking about creating the optimal week, day, doing the things I love. Yeah. Okay, good. Yes. Yeah. But keep it, it all has to like, there has to be economies of scale, and there has to be like crossover so that you can leverage all of the things that you're doing. Right. And I know you're very strategic about that. So I love hearing that you're bringing in other arms of the business. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. Well, guys, thank you for being here. Anyone who is not in the Agency Accelerator, if you've ever considered it, now is the time. We have killer bonuses. The Q&A vault, that is like hundreds of questions, all searchable topics. Any question you have has been answered. And if it hasn't, we can create training around it. We do that all the time. We have the 5-day media magnet training, the lead to landed mini course. This is going to help you get your very first paying clients, kick off your business. It's so good. So good. And anybody that pays in full for the program, we have a plug and play template. That's a proposal template that I have used to land $1 billion clients. It's the exact template that I use. I show you my $1 billion proposal. or, you know, it's a five-figure, multiple five-figure monthly retainer proposal. I show you what that looks like. The inside of that, you get a proposal template if you pay in full, and our media contacts database for pay in full. That is like, these are responsive, PR friendly media contacts who are actually getting back to you, responsive to your pitches, super, super good. These bonuses were designed to help you. Oh my God. Yes, Chandra. Yes. This is such a great program. And our pitch lab, if you really need to like hone your PR skills and know what to focus on all the time, like what angles and timing, you know, timing your pitches and stuff. The pitch lab is amazing. You know, you can check out all of our programs here. I'm actually going to put a link to it. I just have to look it up. And then, yeah, it's like a whole system. We've created like the entire system, everything that you would need to be able to get into PR on your own. So here, check it out. We have this thing called the Success Path, and it shows how you move through our programs to help you on your path to a seven-figure scaled PR agency. Start in the pitch lab, learn a proven formula for crafting PR pitches, lead to landed, you know, can help you bring in your first paying clients. And then the agency accelerator is like literally a PR agency in a box. It's incredible. It's my signature program. It's really, really amazing. People going through it all over the world. And enrollment for the spring 2021 class is open right now for the agency accelerator. I'm going to drop a link specifically to that program. It's awesome. I'd love to have you all join me and create this incredible starting class of spring of 2021. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I love chatting through my day and what I focus on as the, you know, visionary of Generation PR and the, you know, creator of the Profitable PR Pros community. And any questions you have, post them on this video, reach out to me, DM me if you have any questions about any of our programs. I think enrollment's open for 2 weeks, I think. Is that right? Yeah. So yeah, we're here for you. I'd love to support you as you grow and scale a profitable agency on your own terms. Thank you guys for your time today, and I'll see you real soon. Have a great rest of your week.